Welcome to Aldo Scribanti in Kwabacha for round 4 of Toyota Gazoo Racing South Africa's GR Cup, powered by Netstar. And an amazing field of cars have come out here to do battle once again for round 4 of the championship. Sean Nurse at this stage leads out the media challenge, but there's some big battles still to be done in the Yaris's and in the Toyota 86s as well. Some really tight competition in amongst all the drivers out there. But who's going to have what it takes to try and beat the Auto Trader man and Sean Nurse? We caught up with Ken Swartz to find out what his plans are for the weekend and see if we can get to the front end.
Ken Swartz driving in the 86 League. How's it going here in PE?
Yeah, I think it's going pretty good. I like this track. It's very fast, very flowing. It's very tricky in the sense that it's very abrasive, so you have to manage your tires during practice.
Also, a lot more cars on the track now that you've got the other guys joining you.
Yeah, a lot more cars, but I think that makes it more fun.
And ideal lap time around here, how do you go about it? Is it about getting out of the corners, going in? What's your system?
It's mostly about carrying speed around here, carrying momentum into the corners.
And your opposition, who are you looking at the moment?
Well, we're all very even, so to be honest, I'm looking at everyone.
Jaco van der Merwe, what a privilege and an honor to be able to just come and race in this series, eh?
Oh yeah, you have no idea. Just arrive and drive, and just the way everything works. And obviously a lot of people have been in this sport for a long time, paying their own way, everything. And like you said, the privilege of just showing up, cars are ready. We've got a fantastic pit crew there, and the camaraderie between the Oaks, and then obviously coming to see tracks like these where a lot of us haven't been on. It's just phenomenal.
And I do notice the guys are driving a lot harder than they did, for instance, last year.
Yeah, I think the competition is tough among us. Sean Nurse is running away a bit, but also obviously when you've got a guy going out at that pace, it's a case of catch up. And I think at the end of the day, that's beneficial for the rest of us, trying to catch up to him, which we've been struggling to do and not really succeeded, but we'll keep on trying.
Looking forward to action out on track. Let's see how they qualify. Davy van der Merwe, Dylan Pragi, Nico Severus and Chachaba Mashigo. The front two rows of 86s, Nurse and Shahini ahead of van der Merwe and Visser. And Devon Scott leads out the Yaris's with Paul DeFoster, Souza and Fenter on his tail. First ones out though will be the 86s. A little bit of a gap there between the 86s and the combination. But join us off the break for race 1. Welcome back to action from Toyota Gazoo Racing SA, driven by Netstar, and it's the 86 League who gets us underway for race 1 here at Aldo Scribanti. 8 laps of action coming away, and will it be Dylan Pragi able to outgun the all-conquering Davy van der Merwe as they head down towards turn number 1? Looks like Sean Nurse got a good start there in the combination of the Yaris and Corolla categories. We're on board with Hannes Visser, and he is absolutely side by side with the 222 there, Theo Brits. Good start there from Brits, just squeezing through, under braking for turn 1. Visser tucks in behind him and is going to follow him through. Just trying to get that apex right through turn 1. It'll set him up nicely for the S's. As they go into the S's, Sean Nurse definitely leads out. Right on his tail though, Devon Scott from the Toyota Gazoo Racing Academy. He's on his tail and looking for a way through. Back to the 86 League. They seem to have sorted everybody out right at the back of the pack though. Not a great start there from Ryan Naka. He's going to have to do some work to try and come through this pack and try and get to the front end if he can. Right now it's Davy that leads out. Mid-pack here is Shahini, and in the background, a spinner. Looks like might have been Benny Halberg who just got out of shape there in the background, and he's just looped it out. And can he get going in? We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully he does. So he gets back onto the circuit and tries to get back on. Oh, he's getting it a little bit out of shape, but eventually gets it back onto the track. That's through Hanger. Probably just some cold Dunlops there, not quite up to the temperature yet. And with a little bit of a breeze blowing across the circuit, the track temperature is slightly down. So it'll take about a lap and a half to get those tires up to the optimum temperature. 86 is into turn 1. Somebody else off as well. Whoa! In the background, they're having a bit of fun and games there between the Yaris boys. Remember, that's the dealer team, guys, fighting with the media team in the Corollas. About 21 kilowatt difference between those two cars. But on a circuit like this, it's almost 600 versus 1,000. So you don't really have to worry too much about the power differential. It's more the handling. And if you're going to go off track, and you definitely won't be doing that. This is Fisher's point of view as they go through the S's again. A little bit of smooth correction there, slight correction there on the wheel as he goes through the gearbox, through the sweep and up towards Hanger. Let's see if he gets it full through there. Oh, it's not bad, hey? That's not bad. Almost full taps through there. A little comfort lift before he came up onto the brakes and into the hairpin, closing down. Looks like on Alex Shahini. So the Car Magazine man being caught there by Latville. Speaking of being caught, 777 is on the move. They're going to try and get up into what is now 3rd place, trying to get through there on Severus. And Mashigo is pushing Safiris in that 777 car, so he's definitely looking for a way through to get onto that podium. Remember, he won the 86 League last year as a media contingent, but of course the media are now in those Corollas. The Yaris's are all the GR dealers that are fighting hard for honours amongst them. And it's great to see the little mix-up that they've given here between the media guys and the Yaris guys, all the dealer team guys that are in those Yaris's. Giving an opportunity for them to see what the product can do on track, and then of course go and sell it on Monday. There's a really nice array of GR product that's out there as well. But into the 86 League, in the back end of 86, all of a sudden it's Ryan Naka starting to make some maneuvers. Slowly but surely getting his way through there. A little bit squirrely as he came out of the SSE. You can see back end stepping out ever so slightly. Those rear wheel drives are just hanging in there for dear life. And, well, man who's hanging in for dear life at this stage is not Davy van der Merwe. He is just opening up a massive margin. Great battle here. I thought it was Shahini. Shahini's actually just up the road. It's the citizen man, Jaco van der Merwe, that Hannes is trying to find a way through on. So we've got three-way battle here between the Corollas. First on the inside, that's a good line out of hanger. Is he good enough on the brakes to make it stick, though? He goes up the inside. Oh, does Van der Merwe give him some room? Yes, he does. Oh, so that's Latville versus Citizen, and Latville 1, Citizen 0 out of the hairpin. Now heading down the hill, he sets his sights on Alex Shahini in the car magazine machine just up the road from him. It looks like Shahini might have just squeezed through, I think, on Andries de Villiers or on Theo Brits. So a little bit of chopping and changing there as well, which is great to see. Nice fights all the way through there. We're looking at Kumbi as well, coming through there. Machikazi having a fantastic run. And then back to the 86 League into turn 1. And all of a sudden, third place has now become a little bit hotter. The hot maneuvering that's happening through that field is certainly bringing a couple of guys back into the hunt for a podium. And it's a nice three-way battle there. Ryan Naka, certainly the man on the move. Fastest man so far on the circuit amongst those 86s is Naka, because he's had to bridge that gap. So we'll keep an eye on his progress as he makes his way to the front end. Nice move here as well. As they come into the hairpin, you can see those hazard lights coming on, just showing you that the car works exactly as the road cars would. ABS system kicks into place as they go hard on the brakes. Devin Scott battling a little bit to catch onto the back end of Sean Nurse. And it looks like he's going to have to do a lot of work there. But Andries de Villiers at this point in time, just ahead of him. So de Villiers, Scott, and fighting hard there with Mario de Souza. There's a three-way fight. Ooh, someone out of shape. Yeah, that's the way Hannes Visser goes into the S's. Trying to find a way through again. Nicely done. They've had a couple little rubs and touches there between the two of them, but it's exceptionally close racing here amongst our media contingent. And now looking for a way through. Can he squeeze past similar? No, he doesn't get a chance to. The door gets firmly shut there by Shahini. Not going to let him through at all. He's going to have to go around the high and wide side of the hairpin. But of course, Shahini will then just come across onto his normal race line and cut that opportunity. Oh, and as I say, the opportunity incoming. There comes the NMI machine. That NMI Toyota just squeezing through there. And looks like Andries de Villiers wants to join the party. So de Villiers and Theo Brits all fighting hard now in amongst Hannes Visser and Shahini, and diving through. Wow, they're on the move. And oh, there we go. Visser goes with him. Visser goes with him at the same time. So Theo Brits opens up the door. Visser says, thanks, I'll have that. It's the two sort of yellow liveried cars. They've got sort of the yellow lipstick and wing mirrors on those two cars. And Brits said, I'll have that. And Visser said, I'll join you. Thanks very much. Dropping Shahini down slightly. So a nice bit of maneuvering there. Opportunistic driving. Now, the 86 League actually have to be very well aware of what's happening coming from the back end. Dylan Prodigy still hanging on for second place, but a little mistake there from him into the hairpin. Might open up the door there for Nico Safaris. Safaris has just gone through and squeezed him out. Yes, he has. So Safaris up now into second place. Watching for that maneuver from Dylan Prodigy to try and come back at him straight away. He has to try and do that as quickly as possible. Those cars are so evenly matched. This is how evenly matched these cars are. Brits now under attack from Visser. Opens up the door. Visser says thanks. That's exactly the same maneuver that Brits did earlier on. And now tries to hang on to it as they go through Chevy. Has he been able to? Yes, he has. Just saw the red and white of that Yaris ahead of the black and red of the Corolla. But the Corolla coming back now towards Dunlop on the inside line from Visser. This time he might have it. Yes, he's got it. Perfectly done. The Latville man just squeezing out that NMI Toyota, and Brits down one position. Shahini behind that. They're lining up thick and fast, actually coming through there just behind, keeping an eye out on Jaco van der Merwe. And of course, Kumbi Mchikazi is there as well. Here they go. Across the line, another lap completed, and Visser in full flight. Really good onboard stuff here from Hannes. He's given us some great action out on circuit, as we've seen on numerous occasions. At the front end, though, it's all about Davy. Davy hanging on to the 86 League for now, and Van der Merwe has been a tough man to beat all season long. They've come close, but they haven't quite dented the armour yet of that purple liveried machine of Davy van der Merwe. He's been, as you heard from Ken Swartz and also from our interview there, you can see the guys are looking to try and catch. Jaco was saying, you've got a man out front that you've got to try and catch. It ups your game. It gives you an opportunity to sort of use it as a target, and that's exactly what these youngsters are doing behind Davie van der Merwe, who's got maybe a little bit more experience than what they have. And that's why he can take checkered flags the way he does. Another victory there to van der Merwe, beating out Ryan Naka, and Dylan Prodigy coming through for third place in the end. Brilliant stuff from them. Sean Nurse comes through for the media challenge, winning out the Corolla battle. Great fight there amongst the Yarrises as well, as you can see. Coming across the line, it's Sean Nurse, Hannes Visser and Alex Shahini who win out the Corollas. Paul DeFoss, Devin Scott and Mario D'Souza, the top three in the Yaris category. And top three, Van der Merwe, Zephyrus and Prodigy in the 86s. So from on track, let's go to Kumbi on cars and see how his race went.
Good race. Really great racing, wheel-to-wheel racing with Jaco and Hannes. I tried stealing a chance when Hannes, I think, went against Johan Sneeman, and that chance, unfortunately, he just managed to pip also Jaco and Alex at the same time. But it was a really good race. The car performed incredibly well. Obviously we need to manage our tires, but I think as soon as the lights went out, I said, you know what, I forget the tires and I'll see them in the second race. But yeah, unfortunate paint swapping between myself and Bernie, and I went off turn 3. But yeah, I'm really sorry to Bernie for that.
Racing happened. It's a bit of a shunt, nothing serious, but that's what happens. I don't think he saw me, but we carry on. Another race, he can make it up to me, let me put it that way.
Let's catch up with our official cameraman, Hannes Visser.
It was very lucky. In a big field like this with so many cars around you, you're always going to have a fight, whatever position, doesn't really matter. But we had a great tussle. I had guys from behind, in front, passed a few, they passed me back, which is what racing is all about. So hopefully it was a good show for the guys out there in the stands. And let's all come to race 2 now. So yeah.
Let's catch up now with Sean Nurse, victorious in the media challenge.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Scribunti, not because of the track itself, just because of the luck I've had racing in the past, but today went very well. I just tried to get a bit of a gap. I knew the Yarrises behind me were going to have their own ding dong, so I just managed to get a bit of a gap, and then the last 4 laps sort of tried to manage it. Tires have gone off. I was looking at my front left now, and it's not looking good for race 2, so we'll have to see about that, but happy with the performance. Can't really say anything else. Just super happy and looking forward to race 2.
Another happy man, overall winner, Davie van der Merwe.
Yeah, the weekend is going very well so far. It's been a good day so far. Yesterday and today, Nico and Dylan and Sachaba has really made it difficult this weekend so far. So looking forward to the next race. I think it's going to be a fun one, and let's see what happens.
It wasn't too bad, especially after the horrible weekend we had last round. Luckily we were still second in the championship, but obviously now we're doing okay and extending our second place, catching up to Davie. But it's good, clean racing.
Started off good, happy to be in the front row for race 1. Unfortunately went a bit deep into the one corner and Nico got past me. We had a good dice until the end of the race.
Next race you're going to shunt him off.
We'll see about that.
Welcome back to a packed Aldo Scribunti circuit for round 4 of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Cup. And it's driven by Netstar and all their associate sponsors, and it is fantastic to see such a big crowd coming out. They've been entertained in the first race. They get more coming now, with once again Davie van der Merwe setting the pace in the 86s for race 2, and he gets the drop off the line down towards turn 1. This time it's Nico Zephyrus, his closest rival in the championship. We just chatted to him, and you know how close things are there. But Dylan Prodigy is slowly but surely making his way to that front end battle. Good start as well, coming from the Yarrises and the Corollas. They're heading towards turn 1. Looks like Nurse might have got the drop again heading into turn 1, but you did hear from him. He's a bit concerned. The tyre wear at the circuit is pretty hectic. Oh, and already some touching. There you go, Ryan Naka being sent onto the sideline and catches it. Fortunately, gets back on track relatively quickly. Doesn't lose too much ground. Top 3 getting away though, and you can see they're starting to pull ever so slightly there from Ken Swartz in 4th place. Pack there, Kumbi on cars, trying to make his way a little bit higher up. We heard from him how excited he was about the racing. We also saw that he left his windscreen wipers on in an interview, so I wonder if he's worried about rain later on. We'll have to catch up with him and see if it actually arrived. But here they go, into the famous Chevy sweep and on to the brakes. up towards the hairpin. This used to be Toyota hairpin in the old days, and these Toyotas are really putting on a show here for this big crowd. It's great to see them coming out. Ken Swartz, though, slightly further up than what he was in the first one, that's for sure. So an improvement there coming out of Ken Swartz, and when we spoke to him in the beginning of the day, he definitely said he wanted to make those improvements. It means we've either lost Zephyrus, or where has Dylan Prodigy gone? One of the two of them have missed and gone away from that top three. Kumbi making his way through rapidly. Nice bit of maneuvering there from Kumbi on cars. And Machikazi is definitely getting a little bit higher up than what he was in that first heat. So now, as we come into the S's, yeah, it's Dylan Prodigy there is second. So that is definitely where he wants to be. Ken Swartz moving his way up nicely, and great to see that too. Recovery coming from Nika. Hasn't quite worked out for him just yet, though. He's still at the back of the pack, trying to find a way through there on Ken Swartz and Zephyrus. They're at the back of the pack, and look out for the hard-charging Sechaba Mashigo. Speaking of hard-charging, well, there's some big hard chargers coming through there, including Jaco van der Merwe. We're on board once again with our cameraman, Hannes Visser, heading up towards the hairpin. He's late on the brakes, but not late enough to have a dive on the inside. Just showed a wheel, though. And what he's going to have to take into account is we heard from Sean Nurse, a couple of cars have taken a bit of strain with the hard surface and the wearing of the tyres. And that wearing the tyres is becoming an amazing issue here, because we heard it from Sean Nurse. He said his front left was a little bit damaged, and also from Sechaba, caught up with him just between the interviews there, and he said he had a big issue which they had to try and sort out. Dunlop jumped in, tried to sort it out, and hopefully they're going to be able to make it to the end of these 8 laps. We've got 6 of them still to go, and it's a hard wearing surface that they're playing on, so guys have to worry about the preservation of those tyres. They can't just go all out and expect them to hang in there right till the end of the day. It is a tyre preservation surface, and you've got to be well aware of that to ensure that you get your car to the finish line. Sean Nurse is trying to do that. It's being closed down pretty rapidly there, as you can see, by the 2 driving academy boys, and Devin Scott this time leads out that little fight between himself and Paul DeVos from the GR Driving Academy. Behind that, Mario D'Souza trying to push through as well. Nice little fight here as well in that mid-pack for the 86 League, and the fight is between second and third at this stage as well as they go through Chevy. You can see a big push coming along, and it's nice to see that Zephyrus and Prodigy are continuing that little battle. They are fighting for second and third in the championship, and now with Prodigy just out ahead of Nico. Oh, was it a little touch there? I think there might have been. Late braking from Prodigy, and Zephyrus had to come out of it. He just tagged the back end of it. Got a little bit of the the back end coming onto that car under braking for Dunlop, and also a little bit of flame out of the exhaust as well. Just hotting the cars up here, though. The racing's getting hotter and hotter every time these guys get on track. Oh, Latviel, look at that. You could see, look at the front end of that car squirming down into Dunlop corner. And Hannes is battling with that front end too now. So a lot of guys are feeling the effects of the 16 laps of racing they've had yet today in the Toyota Gazoo Racing SA Cup driven by Netstar. They come through the S's yet again. Now, all of a sudden, there's a third car involved in the fight. And joining the party there, looks like we're going to be in for a great little battle, because Prodigy's been joined, and Sechaba Mashigo is about to get there as well. Mashigo is on the move in a big way here, and he's now made his way up into this front end fight. Dropping by the wayside there is the 58 car of Ken Swartz. Ken Swartz in the battle too, so slowly but surely they're all getting into the mix here big time. At this stage, though, Dylan Prodigy manages to maintain that second spot. Darby's up the road, he's disappearing. They're not going to catch him, but there's certainly going to be still a chance here for Sechaba Mashigo to catch these 3 and be in the mix here. Possibly spoil the day here for the youngsters just ahead of him. He's got a little bit more experience than some of these guys are in these cars, due to the fact that he was involved in the media challenge last year in the 86 League. They've changed it up, as I said, in the first race to the Corollas for the media challenge, and we go on board with the Latviel man once again. Heading down into Chevy Sweep and up through almost Sunset Corner there. The sun is right in your eyes, and you can see a clear visor on that helmet of Hannes. He's going to definitely feel the effects here in the late afternoon. If it's even late in the afternoon, you'll get it through Dunlop, and there you can see almost through Dunlop as well. Another bit of sun right in your face. Makes it very difficult. Here we go. Sechaba Mashigo going defensive on to Nika, being closed down by Nurse. Then you've got Devin Scott closing down on him. So the Auto Trader man has got his work cut out for him in these last couple of laps. Hopefully that left front is going to hang on. 2x2 down into Chevy. That'll be pretty interesting to see who comes out better of the two. Sechaba Mashigo fending off the attack coming from Ryan Nika. They are literally side by side as they came out of Chevy now, looking to get into Dunlop. Late on the brakes, looking for a way through, but he can't find it just yet, is Nika. But what Nika's going to have to worry about is Nurse and Devin Scott closing him down. Oh, someone's run wide. Someone's run wide. Was that Sechaba? Sechaba Mashigo might have run wide there. What if he's picked up a problem on that tyre again? He's run wide out of Dunlop corner with a lap to go, and he's dropping right by the wayside. I think he's got a flat. That front left has gone flat on that car, and it's cost him dearly. Oh, he's going to be livid about that. So into the front end of the 86 League, Darby's been closed down, but I think he's rolled out of it ever so slightly there. He knows he can control the pace. So Darby van der Merwe looking for a double victory again. And this circuit has always been kind to him in the past when he's been driving in other categories. It's certainly been very kind to him today. But the battle is still on. Zefiris in with a chance. He puts the pressure onto Praji. He comes alongside him. Now he tucks in behind him as they go through the sweep. He'll set things up for the final corner. Maybe have a dive into Dunlop. Darby going to try and hang on. There he is for the lead. Watch in the background. Have we got Zefiris on the inside? We do. Zefiris goes up the inside and finds a way through there. Dylan Praji opens up the door. You don't want to do that. Nico now moves up into second place. It's a drag to the line, but I think Zefiris has got it. Yes, he has. So second in the championship, finishes second on the road behind the championship leader Darby van der Merwe, and third in the championship, finishes in third. That's how it's supposed to be, I suppose. They don't want to change it up, hopefully, by the time we get down to East London for the next round. Amazing race action there. Dylan Praji in third behind Zefiris and Darby van der Merwe. Nurse takes the Corolla Challenge ahead of Thompson and Visser. It's Scott, De Vos and De Souza in the Yaris's for the Media Challenge. Well, let's catch up with some of the drivers down in the post-race area. Great camaraderie, high fives and handshakes there. How did it go, Alex Shahini?
So, roller coaster of a weekend. I think I had very good one-lap qualifying pace ahead of the rest of the pack. I mean, I started first race in P2. Unfortunately, I could only start this race in P4, and that's where I stayed. What you were hearing about two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive is obviously under a lot of duress. The GR Corollas rear differentials take quite a lot of heat from the aftermarket exhaust that they are running, and that obviously hinders their ability to send the power to the rear diff. So essentially, depending, obviously it depends from driver to driver, but we'll go into two-wheel drive, being the front wheels, for a fair portion of the race, and I've been unlucky enough to have, I think it was lap 2 or lap 3 in both races going off, which is 1 or 2 laps earlier than everyone else, and it's pretty tricky keeping the Yaris's behind. I did get past Johan in the early parts of the race when everything was hunky-dory, and yeah, thereafter, you know, once it goes, it's day and night. The Yaris's, obviously you need that extra traction on the rear in those tight corners where the Yaris's are excellent anyway. So yeah, he came past me fairly quickly. Kudos to him. It was a very clean move. There was a lot of respectful racing. I think towards the back of the grid, the last 4 GR Corollas, we all obviously had, we all seemed to have the same issue towards the end of the race, but I think we had a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm a lot better at driving something, a car that I think performs with all-wheel drive than front-wheel drive, because the driving style is very different. So fun weekend, ups and downs. Unfortunately, not the way I would have wanted to end it, but I think I might have finished with the podium in hand, regardless. So we'll see.
Double winner today, Sean Nurse.
Yeah, weekend went about as well as I could have possibly hoped for. That's a flag to flag, which is amazing. Feels really good to come back here and do well after last time coming fourth. So just a really great weekend, super amped, and hopefully we can carry the momentum and form into East London. It's a very scary track, but I'm looking forward to it.
Man, they certainly had a great time today from Rustenburg Toyota. Johan Snyman.
Dave, it was a lovely day, it was a lovely race, it was a lovely weekend. I found it rather tough in the end with the second race. The tyres became hot and we lost a bit of time, lap time. The competition was fierce. I was lucky enough to overtake one of my competitors, I think after about 4 laps, which helped me up quite a bit. Thereafter, I was very lucky enough to catch Hannes Visser, which is lovely. He had his mirrors full of me. So I'm sure he won't forget me in a hurry.
Let's get a couple of comments now from Vanna Venter.
Yeah, we had an awesome day. It was such great fun. The first race we had a bit of a lacquer dog fight with Hannes Visser, but yeah, we managed to end up in front of him. And then the second race, I was a bit of a loner. I tried to stay with Super Mario, but they were really quick. But I think very glad for the result that we pulled off. So for the NMI racing team, our boss Alex Frielingsdorf, Theo Brits with the maintenance of the car, we're really grateful, and to God be the glory.
So Chaba, a little bit disappointed.
Found myself in P4 at the start. Fought. Had some contact with Kent that ripped the valve out of my rim, and so I lost air, got a puncture, DNF'd. And now in the second race, starting last, I made a place on Ryan. Tried chasing Kent. That didn't happen, but yeah, ended up in a nice little dice with Ryan. But my tyre just wasn't feeling right, and at the last corner, as I'm turning in, just hear a pop and the car just went straight off. What I should have done was take the next lap and then cross the finish line, and I would have finished, but I pitted on the last lap, and yeah man, just massive frustration on my side. It was a terrible weekend. 2 DNFs, yeah, it was just a bad weekend overall, and East London isn't one of my best tracks either, so that's not going to be, not going to be an easy one either.
We'll see you at East London for the next round of Toyota Gazoo Racing SA, driven by Netstar.